Hello, everyone. Welcome to Culture of Gaming's Power Up Podcast, episode 113, being recorded live on April 18th, 2020. I'm your host, Taylor, and anyway. All
That's
right,
it.
Andrew, you're here as
Yeah.
usual.
Hi.
What have you been up
Oh,
to?
my cat's coming in. Sorry.
Okay.
Nothing much. Just hanging around. I've been playing a lot of Warzone with some friends. Got like a little core group of friends now. I'm running with
Nice.
that cat. So yeah, we're just like scratching stuff. It's
Oh, okay.
like loudly too.
Just don't pull an Alinity, it's okay.
Oh my God, she's still going. I can't do this. Hey,
All right.
get out of here.
Poor cat.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, no problem.
That's
At least didn't pull an Alinity.
My furniture is important, and she
Yeah.
hates that chair apparently, or loves it. I don't know. But yeah, we got a little core group going on. Warzone. That game's pretty
Nice.
fun. It's really like nerve wracking. I swear, I'm playing it. I'm like starting to like shake. We're getting top 10. I'm like, ah.
This is scary.
Walls are closing in, man.
I know. It's just like nervous. Like I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
But it's fun. It's got that. It's got the battle royale stuff to it. But it's
Sure.
nice that it's free and cross play.
Yeah.
Because I can get like friends who like haven't played Call of Duty in like a couple years. Like they played a lot in like college or something.
Yeah.
Oh, you used to love Call of Duty. I'm like, oh, download it, man. We'll play together. And like,
Yeah.
oh, right. I remember how to shoot now. Yeah. So it's like, it's much easier to get other people to play that game, but instead of like an Apex Legends, because then they're like, oh, people have powers and whatever.
I saw you playing Apex the other night.
Yeah, I tried. It didn't work well, and I just
Okay.
Yeah.
Gave up.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Maybe another time I'll mess with it again. But yeah, I've just been like touching every game I have in my library. Like, it's a weird time. I'm like, I don't know what I want to play. It's like started a new Breath of the Wild save. Got like one like one of those shrines in,
Yeah. Yep.
and like there was a little like puzzle thing I like tried to do like out in the world somewhere. I'm like, oh, this is, and then I just drowned. I was like,
Okay, I quit. Bye.
Breath of the
Yeah.
Wild.
yeah. I'm like, okay, I'll just come back to this eventually when I feel
Yeah.
like
It's
it.
like, God, how is this Game of the Year 2017?
I mean, it's a good game. I just
know,
like
I know.
I don't know. It's
Yeah.
There's
I
just some things like when playing that game you just can't be bothered with at the time, right? It was just
Yeah,
yeah.
like I don't care about the story, and they're like trying to throw a little bit of like cutscenes at me. I'm just like, just let me roam around the open world right now, please.
Mhm.
Like, and like I don't know, it's one of those games that I feel like I'll just sit on my couch like late at night and be like, I'll put an hour into this here and there.
Sure.
Okay.
What else? There was something else I've been playing. Oh, I've been playing Jackbox, the like party games.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I highly recommend those games for like Zoom meet if you're like familiar with Zoom, or even
Yeah.
Discord, I guess, because Discord you
Yeah.
can share a screen now. Like Jackbox Party Pack 3 is the one to get. I'll throw that out there.
So just play Jackbox instead of studying in the Zoom meeting.
Yeah.
what you do.
And then what's the other one? Drawful. That's a good one too. That was free actually on Steam.
Okay.
So check those out if you want to play some fun games. But I think that's pretty much been it for me. Nothing too wild.
Nice.
Okay.
No.
All right. I literally haven't been gaming at all this past week. I don't know. I'm really bored kind of in a rut when it comes to gaming. You know.
Fair
It's
enough.
like Civ and Cities have expended their use. To me, I can only play those games like sequentially
Yeah.
so many times. So,
Mhm.
and then other than that, storage space on my laptop is like full. So maybe I'll delete them and maybe load some other games. But I'll be like an overnight thing. Still displaced. So yeah.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
yeah. So
I want to shout out. I did watch some anime.
Oh,
let's
Yeah.
talk about that.
he's
Okay.
joining the club.
I gotta look this up. Okay, Akame
Got Kill.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what
I
I've
have
been-
not seen that yet.
We started off really weird and like kind of funny,
Mhm.
and then got like progressively like way more dark.
Yeah.
But it's kind of cool. Like I don't know, each like character has like this like special weapon. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't watch a lot of anime. so
Sure.
You
it's
should
kinda fun.
watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Oh.
I've
Okay.
played a little bit of like the fighting game and like this looks up my alley.
I feel like you would really like the anime because it's a lot of like melee combat. It's kind of like
Yeah.
a fighting game translated to anime almost.
Yeah, like the Dora, like the guy like punching all fast and stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
That's like I love Fist of the North Star. That's
Oh,
like one
okay.
of my like favorite animes. I don't watch a lot, but
Mhm.
that one's sick.
Sure.
So yeah,
Sure.
I'll have to check that out for sure eventually.
Okay. All right, fair enough. Yeah, Yes, but so what I have been doing to occupy my time, it's like, well, I wrote a tech article for the first time in a while that went live. That was about the iPhone SE that got announced earlier this week. The new iPhone SE, I should say, because
Yeah.
instead of calling it the iPhone SE2, they just completely recycled the name. So, yeah, go give that a read. That's on culturegaming.com in the tech section, which
Doesn't
I
exist
suppose
right
the
now?
best thing to do would be to search the tech tab because our menu is currently broken.
I may have a fix for that too, by the way.
Okay. Oh, yeah?
So after the podcast, I've been like, I could have done this yesterday, but to be honest, forgot about it. Because I've been between a couple of different houses. I haven't like had. I need a laptop. Fact of the matter is,
Sure.
I need a laptop. I need to buy a laptop. So I just need to like restructure the menu, and apparently it should work. So yeah, should be an
Okay.
issue no more.
Okay, well then why did it break? Okay, anyway. Whatever. That's neither here nor there, right? I did watch some anime this past week, though. Watched some Demon Slayer with friends, although last night a little bit for a couple episodes,
Like one
although they
episode.
were all on the episode I was, or like they were all behind me on the
Yeah.
episode I was current, so I didn't get anywhere with that. But I did finish The Devil is a Part-Timer this past week,
Nice.
so that's a pretty good show. A little bit campy, and it's definitely like a 2013 anime. I know that sounds kind of weird, but there's like definitely a difference between like animes of certain eras of around like 5 to 8 years in between each other. So it's like, something made in like 2012, 2013 feels a lot different than something made in like 2018 or 2019. So
I find that Black Clover's art style kind of looks a little bit like old-fashioned, a bit like old-fashioned anime, like initially to start off with.
yeah,
Just because of the art style that they've gone with. I actually really like it though.
yeah,
So-
fair enough. I really like the net shading they do in Black Clover, like the
Yeah,
lines under
yeah,
the
yeah.
net. I think that's really cool. Legend.
I got a bit thrown off by that initially, to be honest. Like I was like,
Yeah.
are people supposed to have neck beards or something in this? Or
No, just the shading that they do.
yeah.
And
Oh.
so yeah.
That reminds me
Although
too.
I have been playing my gacha game quite a bit
Oh,
also,
Lord.
of course.
Which one are you into?
I'm into this one called Crossing Void, which is this anime one.
Ah,
It's like a mix of a bunch of different series in it and everything, because it's all licensed under a certain publishing company that's published all those like light novels and everything. So
Sure.
Yeah. wait, that implied you were into a gacha game.
me? No, but I hear a
Oh.
lot about them. Grand Blue.
Oh yeah, yeah.
There's even like wrestling ones I've seen.
Yes.
It's pretty
Yeah.
wild.
Yes. So yeah. Anyway, that's been about it for me. Just ready for the quarantine to be over. The light is definitely at the end of the tunnel. I think we're almost through it. At least in my home state, we would be. And so
Nice.
Yeah, we got a couple weeks here, I think.
okay,
Oh.
another couple weeks.
Oh, well, at least a couple weeks. Who knows? Like things get changed really fast, right? Like,
Yeah.
so we'll see.
All right. Dare I ask how Australia goes?
Okay, so we have like 7,000 cases here. It's not that bad at all. It hasn't gotten bad here. But so in some states, they've basically turned it into militaristic kind of states as far as like
okay.
Victoria is basically under martial law. The premier, which is like the governor that you guys call him, we call him premiers, weird name. I know. He's very power hungry. So he's like deployed the ADF, which is like the Australian Defence Force. He's done all this stuff. It's crazy, and you can't go fishing. You're not allowed to fish. You're not allowed to camp. You're not allowed to do anything. But you're allowed to go to a supermarket with hundreds of people. Some of the stuff doesn't make sense what they've done. But the state I'm in is basically much of a muchness. Nothing's really changed a whole heap. Supermarkets are just opening later, and certain programs are happening for like older people, so then they have a chance to get shopping. But there is no like lockdown or anything here, and it seems to be getting better until I start tracking yourself. But anyway, that's another topic.
Okay. All right. Anyway, so that was the weekly quarantine check-in. I assume we're all doing well, right?
Yeah.
As about as good as we can be.
Pretty
Okay.
decent.
All right. So, moving right along, let's go ahead and get through some of the housekeeping stuff. The main site is, of course, cultureofgaming.com. There you can find the latest gaming news, reviews, opinion pieces, editorials, etc., etc., as well as some tech and anime stuff on the odd occasion. So head on over there. That's once again cultureofgaming.com. There, on that website, on the right-hand side sidebar, you will find a link to a Discord. That Discord is our community Discord, and if you go there, you can chat with everyone you see on the podcast, as well as essentially everyone we have on the staff. So if you want to chat them up about an article that they wrote, feel free to do it there. Or if you just want to chat up some people in general, go ahead and do it there as well. There are also two Facebook pages associated with the site. There's one for the primary site and one for the podcast. The first of which is facebook.com/cultureofgame. Or I'm sorry, is it the COD Network?
Yeah, it's the COD Network. Yeah.
Facebook.com/The COG Network and Facebook.com/PowerUpPodcast. Facebook pages for the site and the podcast, respectively. And then Twitter @The COG Network, Instagram @Culture of Gaming, and Twitch.tv/Culture of Gaming. So, moving right along, I guess we're experimenting with a kind of a different podcast format this week.
Yeah.
Because just kind of due to the lull in news we've been experiencing to the pandemic and everything going around. So I'm not sure if this format will stick around. Maybe if we like it, it will. But anyway, the format today will probably be a bit different in some ways than what might be used to. And maybe it'll stick around if we like doing it or if they think it works better, etc., etc. So we're going to be kind of experimenting with the formula during this time, so just kind of bear with us. Oh, I forgot to plug the repositories. Also, the Power Up Podcast is available on any place you can get podcasts. That is Spotify, Podbean, Pocket Casts, Apple Podcasts, etc. And there you can find, on all those places, the repository of all the previously recorded podcasts that we've done. All right, so anyway, jumping right back to it. So as usual, we're going to start with the news, and our headlining topic today is Jason Schreier. Yes, the Schreier guy himself that me and many others have the honor of being blocked on Twitter. He announced,
Nice.
what was this, like yesterday, Thursday, that he was leaving Kotaku. Yeah. Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's isn't it like I would correct me if I'm wrong. I thought like Kotaku had been like there are not many people happy with a lot of that.
No, they're not doing very well.
No.
Their parent company is borderline shutting them down because they're not happy with the content they produce.
Didn't they sell to somebody else?
Yes, they sold to like Gawker Media.
Yeah, that was a while back.
Yeah,
sure.
there was when that first happened, there was like, I don't want to call it a scandal necessarily, but there was this big like hullabaloo about Gawker Media really trying to rein in the politics that was going on at Kotaku, both like internally as well as what they were projecting into their articles. And then a lot of the staff at Kotaku got up in arms about that. So
yeah, and then I know they also like kind of dismantled Deadspin, I believe is what it was, which is like their sports kind of section.
Yes, for much of the same reason, because they were injecting politics into their sports articles as well.
Right. So yeah, there's just the head of that has not been great, apparently.
Yeah. So I don't know. Schreier was, I don't know. Is it too like general to say that he's probably he's probably the best writer Kotaku has, I think. It's like I guarantee you, whenever he does his long-form editorial content where he blows the lid off something, that probably gets the most views Kotaku sees.
It's definitely the most prominent, I'd say.
Yeah.
At least, I don't follow Kotaku's like personality, so I have no idea. Like, I don't know too many people there. But everyone, I feel like, knows Jason Schreier.
Yeah. He also ran a couple of podcasts as well. So he did one podcast, which I think was his own personal one, with a couple of other like industry people from other outlets, and he also ran another podcast specifically for, I was going to say podcasting, for Kotaku. But like he's the guy who blows the lid off like scandals in the industry. Like he did the massive write-up a couple of years back about like the sexual allegations that were going on then with that company. So he's usually the name behind all that kind of content.
The Destiny one.
Was
a year or so ago.
Yeah, the Destiny and Bungie one. The Anthem, the big Anthem one, I remember.
That's maybe the one I was thinking of, actually.
Oh, okay. I could have sworn he talked about Bungie at some point also.
Probably,
I don't know.
you're
There's been a
probably
lot
did,
of,
yeah.
there's been a lot of things that he's done over the years,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
He's authored a book called Blood, Sweat, and Pixels, which Ethan assures me is good, although I haven't read it, and I honestly don't care to read it.
I've read it. I've read some of it.
Oh, okay.
I
How is it?
I don't like him.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry to say, but I don't.
I don't know. That's kind of a,
Yeah.
I don't know, that's kind of a bomb drop right there. Which you're still muted, Andrew.
No, he's
Andrew,
still
you're muted.
muted.
Thank you.
there we go.
You haven't met this person. We don't know if
Okay.
there's no dislike yet. Come on.
I'm going
Benefit of the doubt.
on. Okay, sure. I don't like
Oh,
his
dude.
writing style. Okay.
Okay,
I
that's
don't
fair.
like some of the stuff that he says in his articles, and I don't like how opinionated he is in his content either. Like he opinionates news, which is something
Yeah,
that
I mean,
don't agree with.
editorializing news is something that people go back and forth on, right? It's probably a very hot topic of
Yeah.
many editors and editor-chiefs.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah, I don't know.
And-
he's definitely doing the most journalistic work in
Yeah.
this field.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
it's definitely it's like the closest thing we have to a legitimate investigative journalist, I would say.
100%. And like power
Yeah,
to
so-
him for like all his
Yeah.
experience that he's had and everything that he's done. Like he's done some amazing work, but he's not very nice on Twitter either. So
No, he's not. He's
So,
very
yeah.
mean.
he is very mean. So yeah.
Maybe I
Yeah.
just have a bone to pick because I've been blocked.
There you go.
All because I
That's
asked
the
a
real
writer.
truth.
All because I asked a writer at Kotaku, not even him, but a writer at Kotaku, why he feared the anime titty in Code Vein, and it was just too much for a man.
I mean,
No comment.
I don't know. It's pretty funny, that question, but also, yeah, I
yeah.
could see someone just being like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. But it doesn't warrant a blocking, though, does it?
It wasn't
I
even
agree.
the question wasn't even directed to him. It was towards one of his coworkers that he ended up saying. Anyway,
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's pretty
okay,
funny.
anyway,
Whatever.
It's funny.
That is
anyway. Well, I mean, so obviously we wish Schreier the best of luck in his future endeavors. Anything. I know he's somewhat recently had a kid, so hopefully wherever he ends up landing next allows him to support more for his family. And while we're at it too, he also has like this sequel to Blood, Sweat, and Pixels coming out as well.
Yep.
So where he's just about finishing it. So yeah, we wish him a successful business career and everything wherever he goes, despite whatever reservations or qualms we might have with him as a person or a perceived person, I should say, because again, we have never actually met this
Never
man.
met him.
Greater topic though is so is Kotaku just like sunk after this? Like, where do they go from here? They're like. Because then they just try to, so it's like, I mean, outside of this, they just try to fall into like every other gaming site now, right? It's just like, what's going to separate them from like Polygon or,
They are similar, I do think.
yeah.
But I'm not super familiar with their content to like tell you like what they do on a daily basis or whatever.
Yeah, just like, I don't know, it's mostly like, a lot of it is like a lot of opinion pieces from what I've like seen and everything. And I don't regularly read Kotaku and everything. I usually only like read a full-length article is whenever interestingly enough, Schreier, just has this massive expose on something because it's
Sure.
like, oh sure, it's interesting. We're definitely talking about this expose on the podcast this week. I better read it all. And so yeah, but then just like it's been skimming ever since he left. It's been skimming the Kotaku stuff, and it's just like mostly just opinion pages. There was like this one piece on there that I just saw. I didn't click and read it, but I saw on the front page, and the title was "My children keep effing up my Animal Crossing island."
That's pretty funny.
Oh dear.
So.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know. We could do like I mean, we do have the power of the internet. We're all in front of computers. Do like kind of a live sample of what's on the front page of Kotaku right now.
Sure.
Um,
Yeah, you're
Nintendo's-
right. It's mostly opinion pieces. There's a few news pieces. It looks like.
Yeah. Yeah. There's like this thing that's entitled, well, this is, oh, that's a screenshot titled. Okay, there's like a weekly screenshot feature video stuff.
Snapshots.
Okay. An interview.
Valve intros.
Valve's
ranked.
intros ranked. Okay. Crustle
The
Crustle
Pokemon
is
thing.
only confident when it's thick. This is a Pokemon opinion piece or
I don't know what that
something.
means, but okay.
Light thick with 2 C's.
Ah.
Dog or helicopter. They have a picture of a dog just leaping over a fence, which is kind of amusing, but again, that's not gaming content.
Yeah, I mean, like you
news
mentioned,
article.
it's mostly
Yeah.
just opinion pieces, and
News. This
I'm not sure if it's freelancers or what, but
Kind of like these fun little pokey opinions or editorial pieces. Yeah.
yeah.
So
like Cyberpunk Xboxes. Aerith is my favorite party member in Final Fantasy VII.
that is the wrong opinion to have, but okay.
Blah blah blah. Animal Crossing is helping me homeschool my 5-year-old.
Fascinating.
It's
Sure.
owned,
Could be interesting.
It's owned
Yeah,
by
so-
Pedestrian.
Wait, what?
Oh my goodness. So Kotaku is like a affiliate slash networked with Pedestrian.
Mhm.
You know Pedestrian, the website.
I'm not
Nope.
familiar now.
Yeah, I won't say anything about them. They're very left-wing focused, let me just say that.
Okay.
And very, 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 very opinionated about some of the stuff that they write. So that kind of like makes things a little bit more understandable about maybe if they're like sharing writers with them or whatever. That's why you may see some controversial content on Kotaku.
Okay.
Yeah.
That really makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going. So yeah, it's. I don't know. So do we think Kotakus will still go forward after Schreier left, or do you think this might be like the last nail in the coffin for him with Schreier leaving?
It's a weird time for because I know a lot of businesses aren't doing as well as they have been doing.
Yeah.
So there are furloughs and layoffs going on. So like that, him leaving isn't necessarily a reason why they would go down, but like him leaving and this in tandem, maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
but maybe they just overhaul their content. Who knows?
I don't know. Might be too early to see where it goes, and it's like now might not be the best judge of how to get a site viewership right now.
Yeah,
So-
and I will say I definitely don't want them to go away. Because the last thing we need is like another big outlet kind of not going away, getting swept under. So it seems to happen, right? We get all these big outlets going away, not too many new ones popping up.
Right. We kind of want to avoid consolidation
yeah.
as much as possible.
I don't think Kotaku is going to go anywhere, to be honest. Like, if they're making money, I think at the end of the day, they're going to be making money. If he's not there, then it's not really going to make too much difference, I don't think. They're going to already have, advertising stuff in place already. It's not really going to make a whole heap of difference. Yes, there's not going to be massive expose pieces or, hit pieces on people or whatever, but I don't think it's going to affect the bottom line. As far as where he's going, he's still doing his podcasting stuff, not for Kotaku, but he's still running his own personal podcast, and he's moving to a different outlet, who nobody's got any idea who it is. He hasn't said, but he said that he's going to still be in the games journalism sector, whether it be for somebody on the site mentioned he could go to what's called New York Post or something, New York Times.
So like a mainstream news outlet.
Yeah, because they're ramping up their games journalism stuff as well, apparently.
Interesting.
So we could see him there, or he might join a smaller site. That'd be cool if you saw a big name join a smaller site to kind of work with them and help them grow.
Can we poach Jason Schreier? Where's the money, Anthony?
Right.
Yeah.
No. What was it? Oh, so you want radical proposition?
Yes.
Kotaku gets bought by IGN.
Ziff Davis.
Ooh.
I want to say that they used to be a part of them.
Who?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I
Maybe.
could be wrong.
Who owns GameSpot?
That's CBS.
Yeah.
Oh,
very
really?
mainstream, actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
CBS
Super.
Interactive.
No way. Gee. So the thing is, there's a lot of networks out there. When I say networks, sites that are affiliated with each other. For instance, Nintendo Life is affiliated with Press Start. I think it is Press Start Australia.
Okay.
Which
Sounds
is a
familiar.
medium-sized site. They get a lot of viewership and whatever. So you could see him joining a network of smaller sites, and then I don't know, go from there.
Okay.
But yeah, Kotaku getting bought by IGN, that could be interesting. Interesting
Or
proposition.
maybe by like some larger media company to offload it from Jotter Media.
Disney.
I think they're Geo Media now, by the way.
Okay.
But I think that's just a rebrand.
Okay.
They can be purchased by Disney.
Oh wow,
You never know.
that'd be kind of insane.
That'd be interesting.
Okay. So, is there anything else to say about this? I think we've kind of said everything to be said. I mean,
Yeah,
guys leaving.
it's definitely a blow for them, but
We'll see. We'll see where he goes next. We'll see how it goes.
interesting
All right.
to follow that.
Yeah. So jumping right along, earlier this week we got the Crysis Remastered announcements, and I don't believe there's a trailer, but again, this is a remaster of the original Crysis, which can it run Crysis? Now that entire meme will be insufferable for yet another like 14 years, which will be
Just
standing.
to clarify on Taylor's point, there is a teaser trailer for it, but I don't think there's gameplay.
Okay.
Oh, that's right.
Okay.
I'm streaming. I better not play that.
Probably not. Okay, so there is in fact a teaser trailer. It looks like it's around 38 seconds or so.
Yeah.
And it's coming to Xbox One, PS4, PC, and the Switch.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm mildly upset that it's coming to the Switch.
I mean, who?
Crytek. So
Crytek.
Crytek did Hunt Showdown, which is a game that came out a couple months ago.
Right.
Okay.
Remember that game?
So they are technically still like in the industry. They were silent for like 14 years though. So I wonder how.
Well, no, Crysis 3 came out in like 2012 or 2013.
2013, yeah.
Yeah, and that was made by Crytek also.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was seeing like posts on Reddit and whatever saying that Crysis hasn't done anything. I mean, Crytek hasn't done anything for like 14 years and blah blah blah. I can't talk today.
Okay.
Well, they've done. I mean,
That's
they also
interesting,
did Rise, Son of Rome. Which,
Oh, did
Oh,
they?
that's right. Yeah.
One launch game.
Oh.
And a
Okay.
few other things that I don't recognize, but they're there.
Interesting.
The
Okay.
Climb, which I don't know what that is. So probably VR stuff.
It's a VR game. I've seen that
Yeah.
game. It actually looks kind of cool.
And Robinson the Journey, which is also a VR game,
Okay.
I believe.
Okay. I know a lot of Crytek engineers have actually offloaded themselves over to Cloud Imperium Games. They're the guys working on Star Citizen, because Star Citizen is doing like this massive overhaul and retooling of CryEngine to make it work with Star Citizen.
Sure.
So I know a lot of engineers made their way over there. Anyway, so yeah, Crysis Remastered. I don't know. I dislike it's on the Switch because there are certain games that belong on the Switch and then don't really. This isn't one of them. Yeah, PS4, Xbox One, PC. That's all fine and good.
I mean,
does this pique anyone's interest here?
I never played the games.
Okay. I played a bit of 2 and 3.
So
I
Crysis
wasn't a huge fan.
Crysis 1 is very old at this point. Like you play, so it hasn't aged well. So you play this as an FPS compared to like Call of Duty or Apex or any other like FPS kind of shooter. It's very clunky.
Okay.
So I think the biggest thing they're gonna have to do is like rework control schemes. I'm keen to play it, to be honest. Like I love Crysis 2 and 3.
Oh, okay.
So I'll probably definitely be picking this up. I only didn't finish the first game because it was so difficult to like manage everything, and the control scheme was so bad that I just gave up on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just like the thing I'm looking forward to the most about it is going to be seeing how far you can push it on the PC, like graphically and everything. Assuming that it is a modern iteration of CryEngine that runs remastered.
Melt your PC.
Yeah, exactly. That's the goal,
Switch,
right? We need another standard benchmark.
Can it
Yes,
run
but
Crysis?
can it? Yeah, but can it run Crysis Remastered? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be Switch one will be interesting, considering like Crysis has been known to like push the limits of like a console, and Switch is like not, exceptionally powerful console.
Right.
So it'll be interesting.
To me, it's also kind of weird that, so I'm making the assumption based on the platforms that it's announced for, that's going to come out later this year. And it's kind of weird that we would get this on two end-of-life consoles, as opposed to, next-gen consoles when they have all new hardware to play with and push it with. So, that's a little bit weird to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, they
guess
probably push it out digitally, right? And then just like...
The thing is with like next-gen consoles, though, is that like PS4 and PS5 are going to be like cross-compatible, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So you can play PS4 games on PS5 and blah blah blah. So I don't really think it makes any difference what consoles it comes out on, if that makes sense, because you're going to be able to play them anywhere anyway. So and the PS4 is supposed to stick around for quite a few years as well. So even after the PS5 comes out, so yeah.
So kind of a moot point then, or...
it's a remaster, so who cares?
Oh, fair enough.
Like, if you play it, I don't really feel like it's going to make any difference which console you're playing it on. It's an old game that's being remastered. Whoop-dee-dee.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Okay.
So,
wow.
yeah.
Ever the cynic, Anthony. Ever the cynic.
I'm sorry.
No,
I'm really not, but whatever. No.
I know. So, yeah, so, I don't know. Maybe, we'll see how it develops. Maybe.
Sure.
Yeah. And then, I wonder how open to modding it will be. So, anyway.
Were the first games moddable?
The first one was, but then the last two haven't been really.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, yeah. It's like the reason why CryEngine just kind of absolutely just like taints anything it runs on is because of how heavy of tessellation it relies on.
Sure.
And it's like, historically, NVIDIA has always been better at handling tessellation than AMD has, but you reach a point where it's just like, okay, no matter what card you have, it's just so much tessellation to do it and everything. I think Toothless Philip, that YouTube channel?
Never heard of it.
He has a decent video about Crysis and tessellation.
Sure.
So if you want to hear a little bit more about what I'm talking about, then go look up his video there. That's Toothless Philip on YouTube. Anyway, so moving along to, I guess this qualifies in the realm of more remakes, albeit this one is just a rumor. Resident Evil 4 remake rumor this week. And people are upset too. We'll get to that
Yes.
in a little bit. Yeah, people are very, very upset. So it's been a fun thing for Capcom to do lately, to start remaking Resident Evil games, and well, they've had decent success with Resident Evil 2 Remastered and the RE3 remake as well. And now it's like, well, if it worked twice, what's it a third time?
Yeah.
So yeah, RE4 remake. The rumor goes that it's gonna be like another overhaul similar to the last two games, and then the community, I guess you would describe it as backlash. I'm not entirely certain how to quantify this, but the community reaction, I guess, has been just like, well, no, wait, Resident Evil 4 still plays just fine, just a graphical overhaul would be nice. So, anyone here on any side of that particular fence played Resident Evil 4? Because I didn't.
Okay, so I didn't play it, but I think I watched my brother play it on Wii.
Yeah.
And that was it. I'm not a Resident Evil fan. I'm not a horror fan at all. So I've never really. I also watched him play like Resident Evil 5, the one in Africa.
Yeah, it's 5.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I don't like Resident Evil games. Excuse me while I deal with a whining animal.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, Andrew.
I got super into Resident Evil 4.
Okay.
Long after it came out, like I was, I think it came out like 04,
maybe
5. And I remember trying to play it, the PS2 version of it, and I was just like, nope, this is too scary. I got like literally 10 minutes in, and I was like, nope, turning it off. And like years later, I finally fired it up again and was like, got through it and got super into it. Like, there's like a little firing range section, and I like got the aiming down so much that I like, got all like the stuff there. Like,
just started popping some heads.
Yeah, like went after all the medallions and like probably played through it a couple times. I really like that game. I liked 5 a lot for whatever reason. I just like the way it played.
Yeah, I liked 5 quite a bit too.
Yeah.
So that's the only RE game I played, and it's like 5 was fun, but it wasn't really something that got me into the series.
Sure. Yeah, I really like Resident Evil 4. I have it at least on like the PS2 version. I have the PS4 version. I probably have the PS3 version.
Okay.
I have like a bunch of versions of that game. I really like it. A remaster though, yeah, that game gets not great in places.
Okay.
If you like if they could like edit that game a little bit, so like
Yeah.
there's a whole section where there's this, you're like escorting this girl Ashley,
Yeah.
who's like the president's daughter, I think.
Oh, I've seen this before. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and you're like putting her in trash cans so she doesn't get eaten, or like whatever. Like I don't remember
Dumpstering
that.
the president's daughter.
I think
Okay.
I could be horribly wrong. I'm pretty
love
sure they're
it.
like dumpsters or something. You put her in.
Okay.
So good.
But like that part is
It's
just
a bit
not
rough.
great. Like you're like
Okay.
because she's so helpless. You're like you have to like manage like there's like 500. There's like all these zombies. Now they're grabbing her. Like you're just kind of like this is stupid.
It's like, jeez. Okay.
Yeah.
So if they can like figure out like if she's still in the game, like
Dang.
how to make her like helpful, like
Make her like an Elizabeth from BioShock Infinite or something helpful.
yeah, just kind of up that up the AI a little bit.
Sure.
Update the shooting. I know a lot of people complain, at least that I've seen recently, with the Resident Evil 4. You had a laser sight to like shoot,
Yeah.
but if you're colorblind,
Oh.
that red laser is just like impossible to see, right?
Yeah.
So like.
Yeah. Okay.
Updating the shooting a little bit, like you can move and I just beat Resident Evil 2 Remake the other day.
Okay. Yeah.
So if they could update it to like feel like that game, that could go a long way.
So
Um,
a lot of people
ahead.
had issues with Resident Evil 3 remake
right.
with regard to length. It's only 5 hours long and it's a $60 game.
Mhm.
Also, there were a couple of... basically, it didn't review overwhelmingly well. Also, nice forehead there, Taylor.
Nice one.
Forehead.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. So I was leaning in to look at the picture.
I've got all the comments pulled up, if that helps.
Okay.
So I'll actually send you the link. So basically, $60 game for a 5-hour experience, and there were some like I think Nemesis felt crap as well.
Okay.
I've seen that he was a little too scripted apparently.
Yeah. So yeah, that was also one other issue that people were having. So I don't know, like if they can kind of fix those issues, then maybe they
here's
can
the thing
improve
with Resident Evil 2 and 3 originally, those games are incredibly short if you know what you're doing. Like you can speedrun those games in like 2 hours, I'm gonna guess. Someone probably does it faster than that. So like being able to like it's hard to translate those games because the story itself is pretty short, right? Like I beat Resident Evil 2 the first playthrough in like 8 hours. Yeah. Now in that game there's a second playthrough and some other bonus content. So you can argue
the world record for beating the original Resident Evil 2 on PC is 48 minutes.
Yeah, like if you know the puzzles, you're going to be able to cruise through it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. In 64, it's like an hour and 12 minutes.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, so RE3 was not, I don't think, particularly long either. So like it's hard to translate that stuff, right?
Yeah. Okay, so are you more on the side of like RE4 needs less of like a total gameplay overhaul, or just some like tweaks and draft roll update?
I don't know. I'd be super into them putting it in the whole like the RE engine, I think is what they're calling it.
Yeah, the new one.
Yeah. They put in the RE engine and like tweak some of it. I love RE4 for its campiness and like you can just like suplex a zombie and its head explodes. Like there's a lot of weird stuff going on in Resident Evil 4. It's like that little tiny guy who's like really creepy.
Yeah.
This is weird. The game is just weird, right? Super anime based. It's basically an anime. So I don't know. Like, do I think they need to remake it? Probably not.
Okay.
Because it's way more modern than like Code Veronica or those even the earlier ones. But it's RE4. Like everyone loves that game. Like it's I think a game that's gonna come out and they're not gonna think they want it. and it comes out and I'm like, wait a minute, this is still RE4. This is really good.
Okay, so like going through some of the comments on N4G, they're kind of all over the place. So it's like, here's this original comment. It's like, RE4 doesn't need a remake, it needs a graphical overhaul. Give it a Halo anniversary treatment, keep the gameplay, but overhaul the graphics. First reply to it is, no, it needs to be remade in the new engine and get gameplay overhaul. Tweet the tedious Ashley sections, the End Island section, those tedious QuickTime events. That's just my opinion.
Yes.
You guys speak straight facts. So people are saying, wait, Capcom already remade RE5 or Resident Evil 4. It's called RE5. That's kind of like a tongue-in-cheek thing. People are saying, why? What's the rush? RE4 is even available for PS4 and it still holds up. Let it age properly. Go remake Onimusha or something. If they wanted to remake this game, they should have considered that before porting it to every console each generation since the original release. No, it doesn't. Code Veronica, on the other hand, it does need a remake. And then, yeah, I don't know. There's some like rumors going around and everything about when like the actual release date for this would be and everything. So Gaming Bolt was saying that the RE4 remake has apparently been in development since 2018, and VideoGamesChronicle.com is reporting that it's entered full production now with an estimated release window of 2022, but there has been early drafts of the project since 2018. So, yeah.
Nice.
I don't know. So let's just say that Video Games Chronicle is correct. Would 2022 be about the right time for this then?
I wouldn't see them doing.
2 years from now.
I wouldn't. No. I would see it next year because they've done Resi 2, Resi 3 a year apart.
Okay.
So I would see this as 2021.
All right. Fair enough. Yeah.
I feel like they're going far too ham with these games. Like they're remaking them far too quickly.
Okay.
Personally, I feel like they need to take more time. There was another comment on Reddit saying, does Resident Evil 4 need a remake? No, especially not in this current gaming climate. The game will be turned into something unrecognizable in order to fit Capcom's current RE brand. So people are worried that basically it's going to get changed far too much and not be recognizable. There's also a poll that we put up on Twitter relating to this and basically asking, hey, who here would play a Resident Evil 4 remake and do we want it? Everybody said no. Like 100% of votes.
Okay.
People just don't want it, I think. So Capcom seems to be kind of ignoring people, I guess, and just running on their own fuel. So I don't think it's needed at all. Yes, they've done 2 and 3. Take some time, remake something else. Like, I don't know, remake something else. Don't do the whole Resi series.
Okay. Maybe remake Code Veronica.
Yeah.
No. I don't know. I guess what I will say to this, because I don't really have like a horse in this game or whatever that saying is, right? I don't really have.
Race.
Yeah, horse in this race. Thank you. So it's like, I will say, it's like, it would be a little bit weird to have like both the port of RE4 and the RE4 remake on the same console generation. So maybe waiting until at least next year when the next consoles are out and about would be a better move just from a perception standpoint from people. So
possibly.
Yeah, I mean, I get that makes sense, but they have this engine up and running on like the current consoles, so like, you know. That part is done, like the engine work is done, obviously. So like, I don't think they're going to update that engine anytime soon because it looks fantastic.
Okay.
Even the PC versions of like RE2 and 3 are like crazy. People are like, it's one of the best looking games I think I've seen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it looks incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, Resi 2 nearly won Game of the Year 2018, I think.
It probably did from a couple people.
Yeah, some people really liked it.
I want to say that was last year because RE3 came out this year. So I want to say.
Oh yeah, true, yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
And as someone who just finished, I guess half of that game or whatever, the first section, it's really good. Like I could see why it won. Maybe it would have been mine. I don't know if I finished it last year.
Possibly.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. Fair enough. So moving on from that is, well, let's talk about Grand Theft Auto 6 and Rockstar. So previously on the show, we talked about kind of the story that broke last year, where we kind of talked about the insane crunch culture at Rockstar also. And so, especially in the midst of finishing Red Dead Redemption 2 and whatnot. And so things are cropping up where it's like GTA 6 is in like full development swing, although it's in still fairly early. And that Rockstar, in the time between Red Dead Redemption 2 and beginning like full development swing on GTA 6, has kind of restructured things a bit to try and reduce the amount of crunch that will be needed. So, yeah, but that's pretty much all I got, right? Kind of cut and dry like that. It's kind of hard to make a judgment on how effective it will be until the game comes out and people start talking from the company about how it was.
I feel like GTA 6 has been talked about since GTA 5 came out.
100%.
There's not like, I don't know, people who are like, unless you've got facts to go off of, like, hey, somebody now confirmed that this is happening and blah blah blah. It's all just speculation, right? So people like, I'm mainly referencing Twitter here, but people talk about GTA 6 so much on Twitter, and it's like,
yes, they do.
Just shut up. You've got no idea what you're talking about.
Brutal.
I mean, okay, I'm saying this in a nice way. It sounds like it, I know. But, like, you've got no idea what you're talking about.
Shut up.
Nobody knows anything. Like, this could come out in 2030. Nobody's got any idea. You've been talking about it since, like, 2013 when GTA 5 came out. Just enough, okay? Please.
Okay. All right.
So, I didn't... Yeah, whatever. Doesn't matter.
Just on blast. Okay. Andrew?
I mean, yeah, who knows with Bear going over there, dude. Like, it could be it's not going to be a launch game. That's for
definitely not.
No.
Dang sure.
No way.
But I could see, like, GTA 6 coming out, like, maybe the second year of new console generation. And
I'm predicting like spring to early summer of 2022.
Yeah, that could be right. Yeah. And who knows, like, we have this whole situation right now that could delay things further.
Oh my goodness.
So
well,
I mean, what is GTA 6?
I mean, yeah.
Supposedly gonna be Vice City again.
No.
I guess. I mean, it probably more interesting if they just did something completely new, right?
Yeah.
They could do like a Sleeping Dogs, like China or something.
They've always done like American cities, which is the weird.
Yeah.
Weird,
Rockstar definitely lets it keep it in the U.S.
It's New York, L.A. There's like a mini San Francisco and a mini Las Vegas, right?
Yeah. The closest that they've like gone to like going foreign is like Chinatown Wars, that old NES game.
Yeah, that top-down game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like that just took place in Chinatown of LA.
But yeah, I was gonna say that's Chinatown though, right? Like that's not even.
Yeah, that's Chinatown in LA. That's not even actual China.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see. They're like, if it's anything like GTA 5, it'll be massive and like they'll try to like they basically made California, like Southern California, right?
They made LA.
Yeah, LA and like the outskirts of LA.
Yeah.
Kind of, right? Can't remember the entire map. But so maybe they'll do another New York one. I don't know. I mean, GTA 4 was New York, I guess technically.
Yeah, it was Liberty City. It was like New York, not New York, really.
Question was when Red Dead was coming out, Red Dead 2.
Yeah.
Was any of that leaked?
I don't think so.
Were there
people just kind of assumed that RDR2 was happening.
Sure. I'm just thinking, like, if it does, Ninja dropped next year, or as like a launch console, is Rockstar known for like leaking stuff, or
no?
So they're pretty airtight.
Yeah, to Rockstar's credit, they've been pretty manageable when it comes to that and everything.
Oh, was GTA 5 a launch title or like a close?
It was very, very close. It came out in like April of 2013.
Okay, right, because I think I played that game on PS3.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. Okay, no. Oh, I remember. Okay, so I think the way it went for GTA 5 is that it released on 360 and PS3 in May of 2013. The next-gen consoles came out later that year, and then in 2014, the Xbox One and PS4 versions came out, and then in 2015, the PC version came out.
Got it.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting release schedule for one game.
Yeah, the PC players were upset that they had to wait 2 years for that game.
I mean, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. The amount of modding that's happened in that, to be honest, like it's crazy.
Yeah, it's been pretty insane.
Yeah.
I never really liked GTA, to be honest. It is kind of like cool to see what they do in terms of like building the world and everything, and like the map is always super cool. But like, I don't know, it's just like the game is never controlled very well for me. I haven't really liked it.
Our government hates GTA, just FYI.
Understandable. Okay.
It's like because there's been like modding for like Australian police cars and stuff.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, they're shooting Australian police and stuff. It's funny. It's a funny thing of what the media.
But it's totally okay if you guys shoot American police, then, right?
Exactly. Like they never mention that. That's so funny. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, well, it'll be like I wonder if they're gonna go back to just a single protagonist. Is that like the new thing with the switching protagonists? I don't know.
I love the whole first and third person thing too.
Right. I forgot about that. When they released the new one, they did the first person. That was interesting.
Bear in mind, I'm not a GTA fan either. Like I think GTA is overrated to all hell. So there's some elements that I like. Most of the game I hate though.
Okay.
So yeah.
Fair enough. A big part of it too is like I didn't like the progression structure of the multiplayer. So.
I haven't touched the multiplayer, like the online, very much.
Yeah.
But like when I first tried it, it was such a mess.
Yeah.
I think that turned me off for good. But I get it as it being like a weird thing to hang out with your buddies and dork around.
Yeah.
Because like team deathmatch is boring and
it's so floaty.
Yeah, the gunplay is bad.
Yeah, I've always failed at like Rockstar single player games and everything because like I'll get through like the tutorial mission or whatever, and I'll just go do so many other stuff in between main missions that is just like I'll still be well into the first part of the game where it's still trying to like teach you stuff through the missions, and it's just like, oh, I already know how to do that. I figured it out on my own.
Sure.
It's like I remember in RDR2, it's like after the first couple of missions, I was going about just doing my own thing for a bit, and I had accumulated quite a bit of money, and I was like, oh, you know what? I want a better gun. I'm going to go to the gun store. Clearly, it must be marked by the gun symbol on the map, right? I'm not that stupid. So it's like I went in there, bought the biggest baller's gun I could afford at the time, and some ammo and everything. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I do, and then it's like, you know what? I'm going to go tackle the next mission with this gun. The next mission teaches you how to buy a gun.
Yeah.
And it gives you money to buy a gun, too. And it's just like, okay, I literally just did this.
Right, it's kind of the narrative getting in the way of like the freedom. Like it's kind of like like where Breath of the Wild succeeds in like letting you just do whatever you want, like regardless of like the narrative, except for like the whole getting the paraglider thing.
Right.
Like it's like, oh, we don't expect you to go get a gun, so we're gonna make you get one, even if you've played the game for 4 hours before you've even done that mission.
Yeah.
Right. As opposed to Breath of the Wild, where it's all just like almost totally hands off, right?
Right.
It's just like, we're not gonna tell you to get the Master Sword or even let you know where it's really at. We're gonna, it's like, oh, you have the Master Sword. Do this with it. That's cool.
So this is a kind of a fling off question from this topic. Do you think like AI and like in-game like tutorials in general could do you think there could be a technology in place where tutorials could be like smart learning in a sense, so whereby they read what you've done previously in the game and then don't show you that part of the tutorial if you've already done it?
I think that probably exists in some capacity already. Like Fallout is like done even stuff like that, or if you have an item before you've like done the mission, like, oh, I see you've already gotten the thing that I was gonna ask. You mind giving it to me?
Yeah, it's like in Skyrim, the first few quests there, where it's like, you've probably went to Bleak Falls Barrow just because the first like real dungeon you go through, because Camilla wants you to get the golden claw back or whatever, and then at the end of that dungeon you get the dragon tablet or whatever, and then it's like when you get to Whiterun, Farengar is gonna say, oh, I want this from Bleak Falls Barrow. Oh, you already have it. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean that's like a bit of a different thing though, because that's an item that you already. I guess it's kind of.
It's it's similar. Like obviously I'm not a game designer, but like if you could design a part where it's like our next objective is to get him a gun. Oh, he already has his gun in his inventory. Then like you could change the dialogue options or whatever. I mean that's boil
Or
it
just
down.
yeah, so I think it's just like I don't know. There are a couple of ways around it. I don't think it needs to necessarily be solved by like some sort of crazy AI that does it. It's just how you design the mission and everything, right? So it's like in RDR2, that entire mission revolves around you going to get a gun and everything.
Right.
And so what you do is like you just make that part of a mission, like a minor part of the first of like an early mission or whatever. That if the game detects, oh, you have a gun that was purchased or whatever, which is a super simple line of code to do and everything, then it's like you can then it's like, oh, you just skip that first part of the mission and just go from there. So it doesn't have to tell you because, oh, you've already figured that out. Alternatively, you could also lock that feature behind after the mission completion, right? So not not open up the gun store in a town until that mission is complete, and then make that mission revolve around, oh, maybe you've rescued the owner of the gun store or something like that, so that you can open it back up again. Put some like contrived lore reason into it.
Sure.
Right. Yeah. Like the story. There's a story behind it all. I mean, you were gonna get in trouble though if you lock things like that in an open world game.
Yeah, you will. Yeah, you will.
No, I mean, not in trouble, but I mean, like you're not gonna it's not gonna be highly regarded. It's not gonna be fun if you lock stuff like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of the 2 cents of it.
GTA 6. Who knows anymore?
Yeah. Hopefully Vice. Hopefully like got some cool Miami Vice meme or vibes to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, GTA is it's gonna be so weird though, because like they're so satirical. Like their writing is not. I don't think it's particularly like fantastic.
Yeah.
Like there's really obvious jokes and stuff like that. And in this world we're in right now, it's like
pretty heavy-handed commentary too.
Yeah, it's like yeah. At a certain point, you seem like, okay, we like get it, man. Like it's not even. It's not clever. It's not even clever anymore.
Sure.
Yeah. It's like that joke worked the first time, but now 100 times over, it's not really.
Yeah, and then they're gonna do some like really weird, like serious moment in the game, like that torture part in like GTA 5. It's like,
yeah.
What? Like,
that was
not that I'm
weird.
offended by it, but it was just like, why?
Yeah.
It's not done particularly well. So, yeah, we'll see.
Okay. Anyway,
people will buy that game.
Yeah, it'll sell like hotcakes. So, yeah. So moving along. Well, kind of talking about the next gen here. We've brought up things being delayed to Corona quite a bit. And yes, I can say that even on YouTube because Susan decided to relax the rules a bit about it. Because it was doing more to harm people who are looking for legitimate information about it, as opposed to not hurting people's feelings, stuff like that. So anyway, so we've talked about on the show, things being delayed due to Corona or whatever. I think what was it last week? We literally talked about Last of Us 2 being delayed because of it.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago.
Yes.
Anyway, so. One thing that's always kind of cropped up in both here on the show and just kind of around various Discord, the gaming sphere is like, are the next gen consoles going to be delayed due to Corona? And this is mostly due to the supply chain that are involved in bringing those consoles to market being disrupted. And well, the answer is yes, but also no. Kind of like a halfway yes, halfway no, right? So it's like most relevant information that we can get about this this past week has been. I believe this came from Sony themselves. I'm not sure where the original source is from, but it was basically, so the PS5 will not be delayed, although expect limited availability at launch. So
basically pre-order or you have issues.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Console gonna be scarce.
It's weird because it's launching in this time where it's like, consoles are going to be expensive. There's things around. It's gonna be like $499 to $549, which is very expensive, and people don't necessarily have expendable income right now, right?
Yeah.
So who knows if it actually will be a shortage because like the amount of people buying could be less.
Yeah.
So maybe they're trying to account for that. Maybe like, okay, not as many people are gonna buy this when it comes out, and that's
okay.
fine,
So,
but
yeah, I'm looking an article here from tomsguide.com, which is a derivative of Tom's Hardware. But anyway, so it says Sony plans to release the PS5 at the end of the year, but the next-gen console may be difficult to find once it hits store shelves. That's just the supply of the PS5 might be limited, according to a report by Bloomberg. Yes, that is the same Bloomberg, like the financial news outlet and everything, kind of the business news outlet Bloomberg. And so Andrew, that raises a good point because maybe Bloomberg is interpreting that as a shortage or whatever, but in fact, so Bloomberg goes on to make the point that the sources familiar with Sony's PlayStation production have said the company won't be making as many units of its new console at launch as it did for the PS4. So maybe that is Sony accounting for, we don't expect demand to be high initially because of limited consumer spending, and Bloomberg is interpreting that as a shortage, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, because people that are gonna buy the consoles are the people who are into it, who are gonna pre-order, right? You get all those extra sales from people being like, "Oh, this is a cool new hip thing.
Yeah.
Let me grab it for my kid or for myself," right?
Yeah.
But if those people are like, "Well, I can't afford that for my kid right now,"
right?
So you're only gonna get that base of people who are super into it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So by not pushing. By making your supply smaller, you're putting less pressure on shipping and all that stuff, and so who knows? Maybe it's just an idea from them to try and get what they can out while
Sure.
I don't know what I'm trying to say, but yeah, I think you get what I'm trying to say.
I gotcha.
I think it's personally, I think it's going to be like a twofold situation. So I think as far as
hello.
Right?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay.
I'm still here. I agree with you, Andrew, as far as people not being able to afford it. But I also feel like it's going to be an actual shortage as well of parts, because the thing is, look, not all parts for a PS5 or a phone or whatever come from the same place. So most AMD parts come from Taiwan.
Mm-hmm.
But then some other parts come from China and blah blah blah. So I think it will probably be a mixture of part shortages / assembly issues, and also people not being able to afford it. I don't know why I keep saying allowed to afford it.
Because the government needs to tell you if you're allowed to afford something, and at this point, no.
Exactly.
Can we just really quick? Can we preemptively designate the next-gen consoles as an essential good? Please, just before it becomes an issue.
Just buy a PC, come on. It's going to be a mixture of both, in my opinion. I won't rave on.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that.
Yeah. I'm going to say what I've said before whenever this conversation has popped up on here. I disagree that there will be a shortage of parts. Okay? I don't a lot of a lot of computer parts just aren't simply consumer computer parts that will be in here and everything just simply aren't manufactured in China itself and everything. They're manufactured in places that have not experienced any sort of significant slowdown due to coronavirus, be it Taiwan. A lot of SSDs are made in the Philippines. So
I also think it entirely depends where consoles are assembled. So they may be able to get the parts, but how assembly as well and packaging and all that kind of stuff is going to also slow things down. So for instance, if PS5 is assembled in Japan, say, because Sony is a Japanese company, and they're under a coronavirus lockdown and blah blah blah, you're gonna have issues getting people going to work and
fair enough.
That kind of stuff. So it may not directly affect it. It may coronavirus may not directly affect assembly, blah blah blah, but it may not. I don't know. I'm gonna say it probably will.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go on and say it most likely will somehow.
Yeah.
And whether or not it's the limited amount.
And I think the somehow is the limited supply.
Yeah, I think that might be the somehow is the limited amount they're willing to ship initially, just to or at least expectationally.
Yes.
We expect to ship this many. It could be less.
Right.
So who actually does know?
Yeah.
But I believe that those numbers are. What does it say? 5 to 6 million they're a ship or something like that.
Yeah, let's see here. I can do. Let's see. According to Bloomberg sources, Sony is anticipating to hit 6 million PS5 consoles from its release to March 2021, which means there could be a shortage of PS5 consoles if it proves to be as popular as the PS4 at launch, as that machine sold 7.5 million units in the same period.
Okay,
sure.
So I remember PS4 was not easy to get
It was not.
at launch. I didn't get mine until like the holidays, and I got like I just happened to walk into a Best Buy and was like, "Do you guys have any of these?" Like, "Yeah, we have 2 left." I'm like, that guy's got one, and you got the next one. Fantastic.
I'll take it.
Yeah,
Nice.
I was like, yeah, like the box had like a dent in it. And the guy was like, "Oh, I don't want that one. I don't care. Just give me the console."
Remember how like scarce the Wii was for a few years into its lifetime?
I actually never had a Wii until like way later
okay.
down the line. But yes,
Yeah.
I do remember that like it was very hard to find Wiis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like I got a Wii like 2 years. When did the Wii come out?
I couldn't tell you.
07 or something like
I
that.
was gonna say 08, but yeah, like I got
Yeah,
a
08.
Wii in I think it was 09, and there
It
was like a.
It released November 19th, 2006.
Oh wow, okay. So I got mine like it was a year after it released. So it must be in 2007. So
Yeah.
it was, and like you could not get a Wii anywhere until when I got mine because they had just got like new shipments in and stuff. So it was extremely difficult to get one here as well. But the PS4 was very easy to get. So was the Xbox One. We never had an issue with shortage. I think there was like a year after it released. I think there was like a 1 week shortage or something, but that was it.
Okay.
So, but we never got affected by it.
I mean, they're always be tricky to find at launch. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it actually matters that much.
Yeah. I remember kind of lucking into a surplus supply of Switches on release night at a Best Buy. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't pick mine up. I usually don't tend to get them right at launch.
yeah, the Switch is the only thing that I bought at launch. And everything
Yeah.
was just like, I saw the Breath of the Wild reviews and everything. So I said, yep, all right, we're doing it.
Yeah.
Gotta do it. Yeah.
We
So-
see we don't. Australia doesn't have like pre-order culture here or like a lineup for night culture.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any game or console that people do that for. Like I think it's even if you go in on day, it's like prime example is Fallen Order. You go in on day one. There's nobody buying it at all in like EB Games, JB Hi-Fi. Nobody
Yeah.
wanted it, and that
Okay.
it was Death Stranding and also Fallen Order.
I
Yeah.
mean,
No,
yeah.
like nobody was buying it, and it's like, how many copies do you have? Just out of curiosity. Oh, we've got like 50. Okay, shot. I'll take one.
Yeah. Okay.
I definitely think that culture has died down a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has.
It used to be large here with Halo, like Halo
Yeah.
We're
Reach.
well past the days of Bill Gates attending the Xbox 360 release in like New York and like
Yeah.
signing the first guy to pick
Mhm.
one up. Yeah.
Right. I mean, like it's so much easier. Like I could just download it at 9 o'clock my time.
Right.
Like, and if you don't care about getting a box, like it's the easiest way to do it. It's just actually you could probably download it beforehand and it just unlocks at 9 o'clock.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
12 o'clock your time.
Yeah,
you
like
know?
pre-purchase and even
Yeah.
pre-download now. You can do that too.
Exactly. Yeah. So like that concept is just dead unless you are really into like getting a physical box, which
Yeah.
if you are, then I guess you don't mind waiting an extra couple days that gets shipped to you from Amazon or wherever.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I think that'll about wrap up the news then. Do we have anything to play during this little like intermission?
We do. I made up an advert specifically for this. It's only like
Okay.
21 seconds.
All right.
So
So we're gonna break for a little bit
Yep.
and see you guys on the other side of that ad.
We'll be right back. This week's episode of the Power Up Podcast is brought to you by OptiNutra. OptiNutra offers nootropic-type supplements that help support enhanced sleep, vision, flexibility, energy, long-range health, and so much more. You can check out their full range of supplements using the link in this episode's description.
All right, and we are back, ladies and gentlemen. So, next up on the new formula sheet tells me to cut to the Watercooler segment, tentatively named Watercooler segment. And so this is the part of the show where we kind of go about, what have we been talking about at the over on our Slack in a culture of gaming, and which is what we use to communicate internally, as well as maybe a little bit is what's been dipping into the community Discord a little bit. The first thing to talk about here is, well, last week we talked about the Duel Sense controller and everything, the pretty cool looking PS5 controller. But now the question is, how much is the damn thing gonna cost? So,
That's the
yeah,
question.
Anthony, what's your opinion?
So one, I keep spelling it incorrectly.
Okay.
I keep spelling it like jewel, as in like sword jewel.
Yeah.
I don't know why. So personally, I think it's going to cost probably... So PS4 controllers, what were they when they came out?
I want to say 65.
65,
Yeah,
sure.
65.
So to buy one here, they're like $75 currently, like AUD.
Yeah.
So I would say probably this is probably going to cost between 70 or 80 USD, I reckon.
Okay.
It's not going to be much more expensive. It is going to be a bit more expensive, in my opinion. This is just my opinion, by the way. Simply because of the technology that's in the controller, like the haptic feedback, the ear speaker thing, whatever they're doing with that. They're also going to have, like, hypothetically / rumored to have like an AI thing inbuilt, like a play buddy thing that you can abuse people through.
I was about to say, does it talk trash to people like I want to train the Stadia assistant to do?
Yeah, you know it.
Okay.
That's an extra
Okay.
$10, sir.
Okay, got it.
So yeah, I don't think this is going to be too much more expensive than the PS4 controller, but it will be a little bit more expensive. That's my opinion.
Okay. Andrew, what you think?
Yeah, I think Anthony nailed it. I think like 80 probably. I mean, I think the Switch Pro controller was 80.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no, I don't think people bought that controller. Maybe they complained about the price, but
The price was a bit hard to swallow.
I never got one because it was expensive.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Heck
it makes sense. Like, it's not a game. It's like a hard piece of hardware, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm curious if they said PS4 controllers won't work on PS5 or not. I don't know if I saw.
I believe
my
they
answer
will.
to this is the Dual Sense will be free because it comes with the PS5.
Okay.
Well, yeah, but the extra ones.
I know.
You gotta have two eventually.
I know, yeah. So all not being facetious, or all kidding aside, I'm thinking around 80 to 90. For much of the same logic that you laid out, Andrew. Like the Switch Pro controller, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a great controller, but I mean, there's really nothing special about it,
Yeah.
right? There's not like pressure-sensitive triggers or a touchpad in it. The coolest thing it has is an NFC chip in it, and so yeah, other than that, it's just a solid
For
controller.
me,
And that thing was $80, so it's like very easy to see Sony charging 80 to 90 for this thing.
But
I don't think they'll go over 80. I think getting toward that triple-digit mark, you're kind of like, what
exactly am I buying here?
Yeah, like you look at the Elite controller or whatever from Xbox. You're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. This thing is like
$300
modular and like all this stuff to it.
Yeah.
And also like, I don't know, something about controllers costing so much is like really, it's like a bad thing for people who make multiplayer games, right? You're like,
Yeah.
oh, this game, like you play a fun little game, even if it's an indie game that's got like a 4-player co-op. That's really fun, but you're like, I just don't have, I can't afford, hundreds of dollars worth of controllers. Like,
Yeah.
like if they're $70 each, $7, $14, $21.
Wii remotes were like $60 each, and that was just the remote. The nunchuck was like 25 itself, also maybe 20 itself. So that was like also kind of an arm and a leg.
You got to account for the Nintendo tax, so come on.
Yeah. Yeah, because I like playing like that stuff with my friends, and I have to bring.
Okay.
If I go back to my parents' house and like we meet up there,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, okay, now we have 4 controllers we can play with.
Yeah.
But like, and then now my controllers are dying, so it's like, Brad, like, after 8 years, they finally starting to bite the dust. So I'm like, great, now I have 3 controllers that we can play with. Sorry, you can come in next round, I guess.
BYOC.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So according to like consensus on our community Discord and whatnot, with a couple of other people who, like we were talking about this with, people basically think it's going to cost around 70 to 80 as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's like the popular opinion.
I think that's the most they can do.
Left field answer, $30.
Whoever said that is smoking some crack.
Yeah, I
oh,
mean, like,
okay.
there's used controllers that go for like maybe $30.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So
Have you all
Sure.
seen some of how expensive some of those scuff controllers yet?
Oh, yeah.
yeah, those are like close to 100 too, right? Or over 100.
Those are hitting 200.
Oh, really? No, I
Yeah.
haven't actually looked at them.
Okay, yeah, it's like kind of insane. It's like I don't know. It's like I spend an absurd amount of money on my keyboard, but like,
Still
at
more dual purpose than.
yeah, exactly. It's like that serves a greater purpose than just like gaming, also too. So it's like,
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to. The reaches the point where it becomes just like, okay, seriously, what? It's like, okay, what is this thing? You know, it's like, realistically, what does it do?
And it's nice now, like PlayStation controllers can be used on PC now.
Yeah.
So like they're getting more versatile,
Mhm.
and they're USB-C, or this Dual Sense can be USB-C. So you know, if it is a little more expensive, I'm like I can write it off. I'm like, okay, well at least now I have a nice controller for a new one for my PC and for my PlayStation. Instead of like like the old ways, like no, just the Xbox 360 controller works on the PC, like nothing else really works.
Right.
So it's good at least. That's a good positive.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's like another brand as well called, I think it's Nacon, Nacon.
Yeah.
They do quite decent controllers, and they're pretty like inexpensive. I mean, inexpensive as far as like 100 AUD. So they're like the price of a normal PS4 controller. And they're pretty good quality. So if you're looking for like third-party stuff, I was looking for some third-party PS4 controllers just to see if there's anything around a while back now, and they're like ones that were like $500.
Wow.
And it's like, who would pay that much for a controller?
You guys know what the greatest controller ever was? The Wavebird controller for GameCube, the wireless one. Oh man, that thing is so cool.
Yeah, I am a big proponent of that, of the GameCube controller being bad.
Okay, fair enough.
So,
so do you just kind of cringe a little bit every time Nintendo announces like an adapter so people can use the?
I mean, a little. I get a little
Okay.
like, all right, guys, I get it. I understand why you're doing it, but like, let's move on from this.
Well, change is good, okay? Change
right?
is good.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm in the camp of let's leave the old, in the old, like, yeah, I don't know. People are like, oh,
the
change
the
is a good
Wavebird,
thing.
the Wavebird. Play any game that's not Smash Brothers on
Yeah,
on a game
basically, yeah.
And you're going to be way more frustrated, like with that crap. You can't play first-person shooters with that controller.
No, you can't.
So
you can't play first-person shooters with a controller in general.
I mean, I do.
I know. I don't understand how you manage to do that. Brutal.
Auto aim helps a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, my PCMR is showing. Then I'm gonna kind of scroll through here and figure out any other conversation topics that we're talking about, or any sort of article topics that are floating by. Actually, no, I want to talk about this now. This started as a joke in the community Discord, but so one of our guys legitimately published like the best Pokemon girls ranked.
Oh no.
Fantastic.
And it's like, it actually started as a joke.
That's the best kind of content.
Yeah. And so, maybe go ahead and check that out if you want to hear someone else's bad opinion on who Best Girl is from the Pokemon series.
Bad opinion.
Yeah.
I love your confidence in our staff, Taylor. It's reassuring.
I mean, I disagree with his opinion, but, it's not like...
Yeah. Is it from the games or from just, like, all of Pokemon?
I assume the games.
Okay.
I'm not sure, though. Or maybe it might be all of Pokemon. It might be the
I
series.
think it's all of Pokemon.
Okay. Okay. And then, I don't know, we've talked a lot about N4G also. Which is always a fun thing to talk about, right? There's, Anthony, you can probably explain this better than I can, but there's stuff going about, like, opinion pieces being posted onto N4G also now lately? Or what's going on with that?
So N4G hates us. So other people are posting like opinion content on N4G relating to anything happening in gaming, whether it be Final Fantasy, whatever it may be, Resident Evil, other random stuff as well. I'll just have a scroll through N4G and see. But basically, anything we post, even news as well, is getting removed off N4G.
Nice.
I don't know why.
Okay.
But yeah, people don't like our content apparently, or like moderators don't like our content. So good luck to them. I will say that N4G has changed their approach with regard to opinion content, so they've like cut back on it a lot. There still is opinion stuff going around, but it's a lot less than what it used to be. So it's mainly like news and reviews now. So
Yeah.
But I do not recommend using N4G as like a website at all anymore. So previously I used to like them, but their approach is just so anti-viewer. Like, I'm sorry, but you've got coronavirus making the rounds, okay?
Yeah.
And you're gonna cut off the biggest, like the most content that brings in the most views for you. M4G this is. You're going to cut all that off, get rid of it, and only do news. And there's not hardly any news at all, like at the moment.
Yeah, fair enough.
So it's a lot of people are confused by it. Any like comments you see about M4G, everybody just hates the platform. So yeah, a lot of people are like bailing on the site and not having anything to do with it anymore, with good measure. So yeah.
Do we have an alternative?
Kind of, yeah. We like go to like Reddit, and there's also a couple of other sites as well that we post to. So N4G is by. Hey, what?
Reddit is kind of a pain in the ass with all the self-promotion stuff, though, that they have rules around.
Yeah, it is, but some other
So you have to like sneakily post it and be like, "Oh, hey, look at this article I found to a community you've already like somewhat been a part of before."
Most of our content on Reddit is news currently at the moment.
Okay.
So, and that's doing quite well.
Which is usually okay.
Yeah.
Which is usually okay.
It's doing quite
the news,
well.
at least. It's the opinion pieces and art and editorials that sometimes stay a little bit wonky.
But I haven't been around for the past couple of days, so I haven't posted a lot of our content. But I'll be doing that for today, and yeah.
Nice.
That'll be all
right, and I think that's pretty much gone the conversation. Is there anything else to bring up that maybe you've seen around this past week, or what's been going on?
This is just a very small thing. There is I'll see if I can find a photo for it. A Cyberpunk 2077 Xbox One is rumored to be in the works, and the thing looks amazing.
Have you guys seen the graphics cards that they've done that are branded with Cyberpunk stuff too? Those look really, really neat.
Seen some of them.
They're like ugly in the best way possible.
Yeah, like
really
that
weird.
Yellow wouldn't look good in any other context, probably.
Yeah, like I'm like I could have that in front of my television, but I'm not sure that looks good.
Yeah,
you know.
You gotta stay fluoro, dude. It's the game
of
of
what?
life. Stay fluoro.
As in fluorescent?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
Come on, nothing's gotta match. Okay, everything's gotta be different colors.
Modern art. Okay.
I mean, I don't care that much, but like I don't know.
Yeah.
It's funny if you just have a gigantic ugly box.
Yeah.
Like my friend has like the camo PlayStation 4 because at the time, it's so ugly. But at the or was it somebody I know has that camo version and it's so ugly. But at the time it was like such a good deal. It was like $250 you get the Call of Duty with it. It's like, oh yeah, of course. Like why would I not buy that?
Even something that looks like more objectively aesthetically pleasing. Like I remember we talked about the Sekiro PS4 a while back. It's it's like, yeah, this looks cool, but it's like it just doesn't go with anything in like the living room either, right?
Yeah, you just have this weird box sticking out.
Like Japanese wooden box just sticking out on your table. It's just like, what is that? Okay.
Yeah.
So
the Cyberpunk one's worse, but
I posted the image. Since this is such a good idea, in the doc, but I can't access Discord. But have a look at that Series X. It looks pretty cool, to be honest.
Oh yeah, that looks really cool.
It's weird looking for sure.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe this will be the Xbox One X.
Andrew doesn't like it.
It's fine. Like I said, I think it's cool, but
maybe I don't know, maybe that's just the color processing, but that is definitely a much more muted yellow than I was expecting.
Let's see. Yeah. There's like a.
You know what it kind of reminds me of?
What?
It kind of reminds me of a Walkman.
A little bit. It kind of reminds me of like a bootleg version of Claptrap.
It does a bit, yeah.
That's probably the best description, I think.
It actually does.
Discount Claptrap.
So there's like
Yeah,
a video for it as well.
Claptrap is already pretty low down on that totem.
I put the video for the controller/console in the Twitch.
Okay.
So that's pretty cool. I might,
Well,
wow, that's really
yeah,
nice.
the official reveal will supposedly be on Monday, April 20th. So
Nice.
stay tuned for that, I suppose. I'm perusing around and I do not see anything else. Andrew?
No, there was that like kind of thing, the Nintendo Switch kind of second display teased, but we don't even know if that's real, so I don't even think it is.
I feel like that has a very low chance of being real.
Yeah.
Nintendo, I think this is relating to the Switch shortage though. So Nintendo said that there were going to be more Switch consoles on the way. I think that was, as I said, I think that was relating to Switch shortage, but they didn't clarify. And people were like, what do you mean? Like, do you mean more Switch models? Do you mean like more? And they're like, we'll let you know when the time's right or something. They said it was really weird. So that could imply like another Switch variant, maybe? I don't know.
I took that as more of like, oh yeah, Nintendo's actively working on the supply issue. Whenever they have like something to share, that they'll share it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I guess this new firmware that they recently put into Switches adds support for hardware model NX-ABCD.
Okay.
Which apparently some people are taking that there's evidence of a secondary display of sorts. I have no
Sure.
idea how that would work, why, but
yeah, I don't
like
know.
the Switch is good because it's like it's the one screen, like
Yeah.
and it's big.
Yeah, just have like a really fat DS in your pocket again now, right?
Yeah, I mean,
literally fat and long DS.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can.
You did. Oh, you know what you did? You did like connect it to the bottom bit with the USB-C and just like just kind of watts on. I guess that wouldn't
That would
be.
be so dumb though.
That wouldn't be super comfortable at all.
Oh,
We'd have to like move the Joy-Cons down to the middle position of that just to be remotely playable. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all speculation, obviously.
I feel like we would more likely see like a quote-unquote pro model of the Switch as opposed to a second screen Switch or whatever.
Right.
So. Yeah.
I'll just do a very quick like rapid fire kind of like news thing from other smaller things. Call of Duty Warzone PC cheating is such a problem that console players are turning off crossplay.
Nice.
Nice.
I played today with I was playing the gunfight, the 2v2.
Yep.
Clearly somebody on a mouse and keyboard. They were like I was like, this guy's on my team at least. So we're in good shape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of like cheaters and everything. So it's like you guys know the stuff where like, people from China just go into like other regions and cheat their asses off just like totally. Like PUBG has this horrible problem with it and everything. China themselves have done this, has done it so that it's like games can't connect outside of China anymore.
Interesting.
So they kind of segregated themselves off now. So you are now significantly less chance to have someone from China in your games.
Interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, PUBG has a massive problem with like the Chinese cheaters.
Yeah. That's like
that community has been begging for a region lock for years.
That's been an issue for a while, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
So another quick thing, Sony. Wait, what? Sony, Sega say PC listing for Bloodborne, Persona 5 and more were not accurate. So there was a listing I think it was on Amazon France or somewhere.
Damn it.
I want to say for a PC version of Bloodborne and Persona 5. What else?
Damn it. I want Bloodborne on PC, damn it.
Oh, this is another thing that I forgot to say, which for some reason I got invited to a flight again. I get invited to all these Halo flights. Halo 2 is being tested currently and is going to be released very soon.
Oh, okay. Wow.
On the Master Chief Collection, so they're already doing beta testing for it.
Wow. Okay.
So for people who aren't aware, basically the flights for Halo, they're called flights. It's basically Microsoft's term for a beta test. You basically test out like 1 or 2 missions / levels depending on the game.
Mm-hmm.
you play through that. Sometimes it focuses on multiplayer. Sometimes they focus on single player. But the one that's currently happening is for single player. So I'll check that out as well.
Okay.
Um,
Are you surprised at the rate that they might be releasing? Because it wasn't that far on that we got Reach and then Combat Evolved.
I mean, I don't feel like they're going to do anything to Halo 2, to be honest. Like, it already looks amazing because they've already remade it. So all they really need to do is port it across.
Okay.
And like give it some, PC graphical stuff where you can change the graphics and whatever. It's pretty simple to do.
Okay.
This also plays into my opinion on a AI companion. Sony patents strange robotic companion for gaming. So
See Companion Cube from Portal.
true. Yeah. So that's kind of it.
Weird.
Okay.
Wait, what? Riot.
Japan is like super into those little like companion robotic stuff. Yeah, no, I'm serious. It's like
Riot requires major Valorant tournaments to disable visible blood.
oh, that's a
weird.
Chinese rule. That's a Chinese rule. 100%.
Nice.
I'm not being stereotypical or like racist or anything. That is like legitimately they have to do. They have to do the same thing in the Perfect World version of Counter-Strike, which is the CS:GO version over in China. So, yeah.
Right. I know they changed a lot for C.
Yeah, I remember that whole thing.
Yeah, that got scrapped, I think, though. They didn't change anything for it because people were
there was a
uprising.
huge community backlash.
Yeah.
And so it's like the problem was that so Rainbow Six was like they wanted to expand into China, and rightfully so. Like it's a good market to tap into if you can. And so if you're a game company, and so it's like Ubisoft was talking about how it's like we don't really want to expend the resources to maintain two versions of the game, so we're gonna push all the like Chinese censorship changes, which are stuff like reduced blood. They censored some of the Japanese stuff on the skyscraper map, because that's not enough time and everything. And the community was like, no, we want the game the way that it's been for us and everything. It's like we shouldn't have to conform to the Chinese censorship laws. And so Ubisoft buckled after we actually talked about this on the podcast.
Right.
Yeah, Ubisoft eventually buckled and said, okay, fine, we'll do two versions of the game.
Yep.
But speaking of Valorant, have you guys seen the stuff around the anti-cheat?
Oh, yes, this is massive.
This is going around the tech community quite a bit, particularly in like the security field. This thing is the most intrusive, in-depth anti-cheat to have ever existed from a game. Okay, for a game, everything. Okay, it basically is a kernel-level program, which is basically just like it has access to everything on your computer the same way being an admin account on the computer does, and so and so it's like it's not necessarily people aren't necessarily raising the issue that it's like, oh, we don't necessarily trust Riot. That might not be the problem. The issue is more of this could be used as a very easily exploitable backdoor into people's PCs that people who make malware might try and get access through and everything, because this represents a very high level weak point that you're introducing to your PC. Furthermore, it's always running even when the game is turned off. And to actually turn off the program, you have to restart your PC.
Isn't it you've got to uninstall the anti-cheat?
That might be the new thing, but oh no, I'm sorry. So to turn it on, you have to restart.
Sure.
And then to turn it off, you have to uninstall it.
Yeah, so basically when you launch the game, it reinstalls automatically, so you gotta wait for like an install thing. It's really annoying. This is so bad.
I just got a beta key for Valorant.
Have you put it on PC yet?
Huh?
Have you put it on your PC yet?
I downloaded it. I didn't install it.
Okay.
How did you get a beta key? I'm jealous.
It's up to you.
I threw some streams on in the background.
Okay.
For a while, and it just randomly dropped.
Nice. Okay.
Nice.
So people are raising an issue with that because it's so far and away from like what other anti-cheats are and everything, right? Which are fairly like surface level by comparison. BattleEye, which is used by Rainbow Six, and Battlefield. Battlefield uses Punkbuster. BattleEye, used by Rainbow Six, not nearly as intrusive, and that's an external program that essentially blots information from the game being leaked out.
Mhm.
And so that's how most anti-cheat programs work. VAT works in a similar fashion. This is called hooks, by the way. So a cheat has to hook into the game information to pull it and then work and everything. And these most anti-cheats do their best to block the hooks from coming in. So
Okay.
yeah.
Interesting.
And yeah, the reason why people are a little bit like skeptical to having this and everything is because so CS:GO, instead of just like Valve matchmaking, you can go to these other paid matchmaking services like ESEA and Faceit and everything, which offer a more intrusive anti-cheat and like maybe a bit better, a higher scale community, as well as like better servers and everything than just like the normal Valve servers do and whatnot. And so ESEA had a much more intrusive anti-cheat client than VAT is, the Valve anti-cheat is, and ESEA got caught running a Bitcoin mining on people's PCs from their ESEA client. It was very low level, and you probably wouldn't have noticed the performance difference, but still, the fact is just like really,
Yeah, that's
they're
crazy.
running a Bitcoin miner on you. Okay, yeah. So that's why people are like, hey, maybe not. Anyway, that's what I want to bring up. You mentioned Valorant, sorry.
Sure. So final bit of news that I'm going to go through here, which isn't anything. So basically, I don't think we've discussed this yet. Gamescom 2020 has been cancelled physically and is going digitally.
Nice.
As Germany extends ban on major public events. So we kind of expected this, to be honest.
Unfortunately.
Everything's going to get shut down this year. Like every event.
Yeah. I mean, San Diego Comic-Con has just announced it as well.
Anime Expo.
So, add them to the list, right? I mean,
yep. Just you know how we have that website that we like to refer to that like killed by Google or whatever. We need canceled by Corona.
Yeah, there you
killed
go.
by the Rona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
we'll see what people do instead digitally.
Yep. I think the big watermark next year for like how in-person events go will be CES 2021.
This is random. Did we talk about the Steam thing? The Steam?
No, what happened with Steam?
Oh, they're doing a game like thing, like a game like an E3 replacement digitally.
Oh, really?
Okay, I did not know that.
What's his name is heading it up? The old guy from the shoot, what's his name?
The Game Awards.
Yes.
Doritos Pope, Jeff Keighley.
Yes, Jeff Keighley, I believe, is like doing something. Let me just double check here before I get all my information wrong.
Okay.
He's doing like a thing, I think, with Steam, and they're doing like I had to look this up. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
I haven't seen it in like. That's weird.
I swear I saw something.
The closest thing that I've heard is the whole like IGN Summer of Games thing.
Yeah.
Here we go. Wait, maybe?
Festival, maybe? I don't know what it is.
Valve's... When was this written?
Steam Game Festival.
Oh,
yeah, Steam Game
okay.
Festival.
I have seen a couple of things about this then.
Yes.
Mention it.
So I totally forgot to mention this. So it's from June 9th to 18th, which is like right when E3
prime E3 time, yeah.
Wow.
Right?
Shots fired.
Yeah, there's not a lot of information. Digital showcases of upcoming releases. Can read more about the event here. Let's click that button.
Yeah.
There's reminders, developer info. Yeah, so it's going to be like celebrating amazing games through demos and live developers. So,
Okay.
Microsoft and Ubi are planning on doing their own like live events. PC gaming show will probably go on as planned.
Nice.
But now Valve, I might add, never attends E3, has jumped into the ring, announcing another Steam Game Festival and another crop of game demos for early June. This will be the third Steam Game Festival. The first ran in December alongside the Game Awards, the second in March as a replacement for the GDC that wasn't. And the third right on time for E3, kicking off on June 9th in another universe. That would have been the first day of E3 proper, after the deluge of pre-event press and conferences, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so there's no real...
Yeah, it's not a lot of information, but it's interesting to see another digital event or thingy. pop
Definitely.
up, especially on the E3
Yeah.
time frame.
Well, I mean, if the market demands it, the market will fill it more often than not. So,
Definitely.
oh yeah, it'd be interesting to see how all these substitutes for E3 end up working out, and then
100%.
might compare to the actual E3 event.
Probably better.
Probably better.
Probably better.
It's not a high bar.
No. I guess the coolest thing you'd still see say about E3 is that you might have had a chance to play the actual game a little bit as opposed to just watching it, but at the same time also you're seeing most of the stuff.
I mean, hey, now we're not gonna get hit in the head by
Yeah.
There's no threat of being trampled by people, so.
Right. We will not be homeless either, which is also good.
You won't get the Rona?
Nope.
No, I remember. I think it was somewhere. I had my pack with me, and I had a little hand sanitizer hanging on it. And one guy I interviewed was, "Dude, I like the hand sanitizer you got." Right. This is a years. And I was like, "Dude, you never know." And he's like, "Totally." And after we did our interview and shook hands, "Do you mind?" I'm like, no.
Don't worry.
Some hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
And it was just wild, how paranoid I am when I go to those places.
Yeah, I have never gotten sick from CES. Which is
that's good. I mean,
it's impressive, and it's I've shaked hands with people too.
Touching controllers, putting things on, and
I'm curious if CES will even go ahead next year.
All that heat.
It'll be the big watermark for things.
All the disgusting heat from Vegas kills the germs.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know. It's pretty windy in Vegas in January.
Yeah. Then you get caught by something else. So.
Yeah. All right. So I think that'll about wrap up the show up. We've decided to scrap the games releasing because, well,
nothing's releasing.
Yeah, releasing. So, Anthony, where can the people find you on Twitter?
I'm at SameAntman19. I don't tweet a whole heap, but I do manage the site's social media and all the content management stuff. So if you are wanting to get in contact with me, I say the same thing every single week. You can do so through those means, through the Facebook, Twitter, Discord, whatever.
Okay, Andrew.
Yeah, you guys can find me Twitter, Instagram, DRONSKI. I'll probably stream some Valorant sometime. I'm gonna stream this weekend at one point, maybe more than one point.
Okay.
So check it out if you want.
Nice. Okay. What's your Twitch channel then?
Same as that, Duronsky.
Okay. Twitch.tv/DURONSKI.
Yeah. Okay. Branding is tight around here.
Yeah, nice. I like it. You can find me at Infurious7809. That is at INFERIUS7809. And it's mostly anime stuff. That's kind of what my Twitter has developed into, which, as aptly put by Andrew last time, that is pretty on brand. So, Andrew, you might have consistent branding, but I got on brand all the time. So
mine is all over the place.
All brand?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. On brand. Yeah. Okay. All right, anyway, so thank you all so much for watching. We'll come back next week with probably another slightly tweaked formula. We're going to kind of do an AAR, figure out what worked, what didn't in between now and next week's show. And, we'll be back next time. If you have any feedback for maybe a segment you'd like to see done on the podcast, then give us a holler, ideally at our community Discord. Once again, a link to which you can find on the right-hand side sidebar of the main site, which is, once again, cultureofgaming.com. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.
Bye-bye.